You're not going to get psychological depth anywhere else in the Hebrew Bible the way in which you get it here in the David story. The David story confronts us with those huge questions of life itself. What is man's relationship to God? What is man's relationship to his fellow man? What is a parent's relationship to their children? We understand all of this when we see David there with the death of his child and knowing he's fully responsible for all of this. It is the horror of each one of his children. David knows that it always goes back to him. Human beings will not always do what we ought to do. The solution is simple. One repents. I think this is what David has learned, and my goodness, that's not a failure. I would say that's precisely what makes David a hero. I would be delighted if you would join me as we go through and look at the David story here to see the tragedy of Saul, see how confused a man that he is, see both how obedient and simultaneously disobedient he is. To join me as we look at David, a man who misuses his kingship, and then somehow, even in the face of disaster, he finds his way out of it. He repents and he turns back to God. And we'll be on that floor with David as he's weeping tears for a child that's going to die. And then in the stunning moment when he finds out that he's dead, he gets up and he can then be able to say, he's not coming back to me, rather I am going to him. What does this mean? And in what ways does this mark out the rest of the disasters of David's life? What it will offer to us is not a sense of who David was historically. I think it's supposed to be asking us, what are you as a human person? I'm Justin Jackson, professor of English at Hillsdale College. This is our course on the David story. Let's begin.